Chapter 1 of the U.S. Army Corps Engineering Railroad Design Rehabilitation TI 85-02. Purpose and scope. The manual provides guidance for the design and rehabilitation of railroad terminals, building facilities, along with some information on the construction. Of the guidance of the manual is primary road lines operated with lower speeds and with lower traffic volumes than those commonly found in the commercial industry. The guidance of the terminal design is a small terminal handling military cargo, primarily tracked or wheeled vehicles in or modular containers. B. This manual is supplemented with special references should provide the sufficient information for the general purpose. Most projects, however, include some of the aspects that vary in specific site-specific. Some of the conditions that are not in common. Designer encouraged to obtain assistance with unusual, unfamiliar situations are encountered. 2. Applicability. The instructions are applicable to the USA elements and their contractors involved with railroad design, construction, and rehabilitation. 3. Reference. An Appendix A that contains a list of references used in this manual. Chapter 4, Part 4. Content of this manual. Applying the material of this manual designs railroad safety or design of the railroad satisfying many of the objectives often conflict. Throughout the process, the designer must prioritize project objectives, decide to what extent one objective may be sacrificed to satisfy another, in its proper balance with the compromise specifically matched to each situation that produces a good rail design. B. New lines and terminals. For designing new railroad lines and terminals, Chapter 2 through 4 and 6 through 8 of instructions are required. The design process summarized in the steps. 1. Determine the traffic load carrying requirements. Estimated number of the cars can be held or handled over the line. Magnitude for the wheel loads of the track must be supported. 2. Determine the terminal support facility requirements. From the type of the magnitude of the traffic to be handled, determine the number, size, locating. You should have loading, unloading facility, terminals, sidings, Ys, other support facilities, and auxiliary tracks. 3. Establish route profile alignment guidelines based on loading carrying requirements, maximum desired speed, locomotive pulling capability, and other operating needs and conditions. Selecting maximum effective grade, horizontal, vertical curvature, and other profile alignment and specifications. 4. Selecting the route through an iterative process. The best route of the profile between the terminals connecting the commercial carrier, usually the nearest commercial railroad line. 5. The design of the track, roadway, and terminal support facilities from the traffic, the wheel load, estimates the characteristics, selected route, and determine the track of the road and drainage requirements. C. The rehabilitation. The rehabilitation existing lines and facilities of Chapter 5 through 8 are required along the portions of Chapter 2. 5. Supplemental material. Listed below the references material generally required for the railroad design rehabilitation. Full citation references is given in Appendix A. An ARIMA manual of the railway engineering portfolio track work plans. B. Installation transportation system capability study. C. A drainage design guide. D. Railroad track standards or TMs 5628 or AFR 9144. E. Detailed maps including contour maps and the area that which the railroad would run. C. 6. Using the ARIMA manual railway engineering. The Army Railway Engineering Maintenance Way Association manual of the railway engineering is a standard industry reference that is cited throughout. The technical manual contains a wide range of items to cover a variety of needs while emphasizing commercial lines carrying substantial freight traffic. It has broad range of specification often given the proper. The ARIMA manuals require the designer select a particular specification that are appropriate for the particular project. The ARIMA manual is written primarily to the commercial carriers that they have their own company and procedures. The material was prepared with the assumption that the many details would need not covered within a company's own practice would govern. Therefore, it is usually necessary for the military designers to provide details beyond the material contained in the ARIMA manual. In addition, with the requirements of the operation, military railroads may sometimes often differ from the commonly found on the commercial carriers. In these cases, the design guidance in the technical manual may vary from that found in the ARIMA manual. For the reasons when preparing design specification using general statements of the meaning of the ARIMA specification should avoid. Such statements often leave the choice of material procedures wide open and can lead to undesirable, unsatisfactory products. Designers should clearly specify the work to be done in acceptable materials for the use of construction. 7. Applicability of the state and commercial railroad standards. States often have the standards particular in clearance which should be during the new construction and rehabilitation. These standards may be obtained with the appropriate state departments, and transportation public utilities. B. In addition, the designer should assure that any of the rehabilitated track that will regularly operate with the commercial railroad in compliance with the track requirements. 8. Sources of assistance. Designers encouraged to call the assistance where the questions arise the best choice to suit the particular situation. Further interpreted material technical manual reference assistance may be obtained by the Army Transportation Systems Center of Omaha, Nevada, CNOWOEDTX, or Air Force HQ, ARCESC. B. Particular installations that depend on connecting commercial carrier services. Either the route of the traffic only during the mobilization, the carrier should be consulted with at least one of the arrangement interchange yard, preferably on the other suggestion the track arrangement promote more than convenient services. Chapter 2. Determining traffic and loading carrying requirements.